Sorry for that. Welcome to our weekly tag with myself, Ramzel, and
The set.
this is our last tag for 2020.
And Lisa has a new fashion statement. I'm just kidding. It's not even that fashionable.
I have a fashion statement because I'm sideways right now.
For real, Ramsel's
Yeah,
chilling.
I'm chilling.
I should be upside down.
Yes, I'm remodeling my room, and I completely forgot that I needed my desktop. So I'm on my bed and I have my computer out. And everything else is just it's still unplugged. I haven't connected anything. So I have wires running over me to have the computer running.
Oh my gosh. Well, on my end, I have been doing really well, except for the glasses now that I have to wear, or
You're such a wannabe.
that I have to remind myself to wear. So I have this thing that
She's
I
not
have
a
like
real glasses person.
I'm not. This is temporarily. Um, but I have this thing that I have to put on glasses when I'm like watching screens because I'm on screens practically half of the day for 7 days a week. So he told me to protect my eyesight and to not damage it even more, to have these glasses that supposedly, I say supposedly because like I do see the blue light, but at the same time I don't. Uh, to protect myself from the rays that are coming out from screens and stuff. So that's the update in my life. I will say that migraines wise or headaches have gone down about like 10 to 15%. So it's helping. I just don't know how much it's helping. But yeah, that's my life. I've been praying to God. I was like, God, don't make me become blind like St. Paul. I love you. I need to see you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding,
He will
guys.
probably make you become blind, and then someone
Temporarily, huh?
temporarily, and then someone will heal you.
You know what's funny though is that speaking of saints, the patron saint that I absolutely adore um, is Saint Teresa of Avila. And
Mhm.
the one thing that I constantly related to her was her physical pain and her endurance to her physical pain. Um, she became paralyzed for a good amount of years of her life, and even during those moments of being paralyzed, she was still able to pray to God, right? And I think that's the power in itself because I felt like oftentimes we think of prayer as a spoken word, right? That we have to speak out prayer. But really, there's also that power of the how we say it in mass, right? The silent prayers in our hearts, right? Um, I think that to me is almost even more powerful because God knows your heart so intimately. So why not pray to God from there? Um, so I really liked her, but the fact that I chose a saint who
That
can
suffered.
that suffered from a physical ailment, which many more have, but that they're still able to connect to God in that certain way, right? Just like Saint Paul did, even though he became blind, um, he was able to connect God in a more intimate way than he would have before he was blind. You know, so God is able to uh, move in our ailments, right? In those things that cause us pain, but he's able to help us overcome them and go through it, right?
Yep,
And I think that's the
every single step
beauty.
of the way.
I think that's the beauty about it. And I think anytime that I, feel pain in my life, whether physically, mentally, or spiritually, um, that I offer that up to God and I say, God, during this time of pain, help me draw more closer to you rather than away from you, right? Because I think pain distracts us and it can also lead us into a bad kind of way of life if we let it get to us. So there's a power to that, to being able to be in pain, but endure it enough, and like many saints, offer it up to someone who probably is going through a harder time than you. And I think that's what I try to do too.
Absolutely.
So there's a life lesson here to be learned.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this week, for for our Bible study for this week, we're going to be talking a lot about
Pain.
love.
Oh.
No, love. No,
You were just
love.
talking about so much suffering. I thought we were going to say pain and suffering.
Well, the reason why I brought it up is because last week we talked about discernment, right? And we heard in I think it was Samuel, right? How he discerned to God in his prayers, right? And I think, going to Mass this week and, hearing the homily this week of what it truly means to discern, right? I think it's important for us that when we discern stuff, kind of know that promise that God made us, that our life is not going to be easy. And I think when we come with whatever we decide to do later on in life, like whatever our vocation may be, it's not going to be easy as we expect it to be, right? I
No.
remember when I first started TAing, and by the way, I used to be that kid who would play like teacher or school, like with my friends. And I would be the teacher, like when I was
I
younger.
thought you were going to say I used to love being a teacher, but then I became a TA and I hated it.
No. So I used to play school a lot with my friends when I was younger, and we would give out like these random fake assignments or whatever. And I loved it. I loved playing teacher back then, right? When I was younger. But actually working as a TA, right? You see the reality that not life is all handy dandy, and your kids are not all going to love you. Some of them are going to actually hate being there, and they may not learn anything, right? And so the disappointments that we might face in our discernment are a part of it. So I think it's important for us to understand, God didn't promise an easy life for us, but then again, at the same time, he also didn't promise to abandon us. So with anything that we decide to do, just know that there's going to be good days and there's going to be bad days, and overcoming those bad days might seem hard, but celebrating the good days is what counts, right? Taking it one step at a time. So, but this week for Bible study, we're actually going to be talking about how love conquers all. So that would be interesting to hear, right? We hear that word all the time. I feel like, especially in movies, right? How they describe how love is all powerful, right? And there's like this power to love. I mean, growing up watching Disney, that's all they talked about, right? True love's kiss, right? Like how powerful they can break any curse or whatever. Mm-hmm. So if you're interested in that, make sure you watch the Bible study because we'll be talking about that. That is our theme for today.
Yay.
Yeah.
And I just want to correct you on something. Last week we didn't talk about Samuel. We were talking about Solomon.
Solomon, thank you.
I was like, wait,
it started
Samuel.
With an S.
It was an S, yes. So, but it was it wasn't Samuel. It was Solomon.
Thank you for that correction. I appreciate it.
And because I know someone viewing this might go, wait a minute, they didn't talk about Samuel.
Yeah. Maybe I thought of Samuel because somebody texted me whose name is Samuel.
Maybe.
Maybe. Check out our